Went, unplugged the battery and plugged it into the bike, and nothing happened. Pick this battery up and I'll show you guys exactly what I found pushing this thing in under my own power here. And the reason why we're doing that is because this thing's broken. Now look, I am somebody who loves a good deal on a bike. But I gotta say, this bike is almost suspiciously cheap. And I say almost because if it was any cheaper, I would probably be really suspicious on how they made this happen. You can actually find the replacement battery for this bike on Amazon, and it's $600 on its own, which is almost half the cost. It actually is half the cost of the bike. So you start thinking with the motor and the other components and the frame and the brakes and stuff that's on this bike, you start to wonder, how the heck do you put all these components into a bike and sell it for like 1,200 bucks? But I have heard a ton of great things about this bike, and it's been very highly requested. Like I said earlier, I did buy this one with my own hard-earned money that I used from my own Walmart. But I bought this with my own money because I didn't want to wait around for Tuttio to send me one. I wish I was like Bikes and Beards and had a chainsaw. There's a cable right here. It looks like a brake line. Wow. I guess that's a good thing to have a really sharp knife next to a brake line like that. Here's the big reveal. Oh yeah, more packaging. All right, now we get all our styrofoam out of here, and man, this is a really tiny wheel with some thick spokes. I do not want to puncture these tires because I don't know if these are tubeless tires or tube tires. I don't really know how dirt bike wheels work. This is actually my first electric dirt bike. Looks like we've got San Miku tires on here, which is a brand that I've never heard of, but I think they should be all right. You can see the suspension starting to pop out back there. I've seen a lot of reviews on this thing, and people were right. This frame is really beefy feeling. It feels like steel and it feels strong. So you've got the little foam thing for in between the handlebars, and then it looks like we've got our shock protectors here. And they also give us a little toolkit that you see a lot on these Chinese e-bikes, or either front or rear fender. I think this is our rear fender. And then our front fender over here, which is just as flimsy as I've heard about. Look at that. They were nice enough to include a user manual with a picture of the bike on the front. So I'm gonna make sure to read this from cover to... Here is our foot pegs for the bag labeled left and right on here. We're gonna need those because obviously there's no pedals on this thing. It's a dirt bike. It smells like a Chinese factory in here. Then we've got our handlebars, it looks like. Oh, we've got a box in here. Oh, we got more stuff in here. This is a bunch of bolts, which look really easy to lose. And then this is a box. I'm assuming it has the charger in it. Yeah, it does. It has our charger in it. This is what the charger looks like. It looks just like a regular e-bike charger. So it is a 54.6 volt, 2.5 amp hour, or 2.5 amp charger, I'm sorry. And yeah, should charge this thing up fairly quickly. If my math is correct, that should be like 8 hours or so, whatever. It'll get charged eventually, don't worry about it. We'll charge it eventually, it's gonna get done. Getting the rest of the styrofoam out of here. You can see we got our handlebars right here. There's like the strongest smell of chemicals coming off this bike right now. I'm pretty sure that it's not good to be inhaling that. We've got a set of keys here, which I'm assuming is just for the bike itself, for the ignition, because there's no locking battery on this bike, I don't think. Also, these handlebars are just an absolute mess right now. I have to tighten all this stuff down. The brake levers are flopping everywhere. The throttle's flopping everywhere. I gotta get these handlebars on here so that I can figure this out. It looks like they covered the handlebars in like a grocery store bag right here. There's this plastic over here that's all up on here that I gotta get off. So I just got these handlebars on, and it was kind of a pain in the butt. I kept having to take this part off and then move things around, and everything was loose, so just a lot of adjusting and fine-tuning, but I think we should be good to go for now. But we were not good to go, and this is about the point where things started to go downhill from here. So right now, I'm gonna show you guys me taking out the battery, and then I'm gonna explain why this bike wasn't working out of the box. And then we push that in, and then we can see our battery here. It's disconnected right now. But we can just pull it straight up out of the frame like that. You can see we've got our 48 volt, 21 amp hour battery made in China. Pong bang power lithium. Nice. It's a pretty dense battery, and it's just a big old box. But I'm actually gonna go and charge this a little bit just to get it going so we have some energy when we ride. So at this point, I went over and I plugged the battery into the wall to charge it up while I was assembling the rest of the bike. And when I plugged the battery into the charger, the light on the charger just stayed green. And that means that it's fully charged. So I've had other bikes that have come pretty much fully charged before too from the factory out of the box, so I didn't really think too much of it. So I wanted to go fire this thing up and turn it on and see everything start up. So I went, unplugged the battery and plugged it into the bike, and nothing happened. Pick this battery up and I'll show you guys exactly what I found and set it down there. You can see we've got our multimeter here. This lighting is absolutely terrible, but this is a multimeter and it basically can read the voltage of things, of whatever you want. I guess you could read the voltage of a carrot if you want. But if we do positive and negative right here and take the reading, I'm gonna try and do this with one hand here. You guys can see that it's reading 0 volts on a battery. So like we said, this is a 48 volt battery, and a 48 volt battery should be reading anywhere between 42 volts, and I'm gonna set this down, between 42 volts and 54.6 volts or whatever. And that one reading 0 means that something is catastrophically wrong with the battery. It is basically cooked. The battery's fried. I don't know what happened. If something happened in shipping or it never worked from the factory, I'm not sure. But basically something's very wrong with that battery, and I don't have any other batteries that size. And a new one off of Amazon from Tuttio that fits in this bike is like $600. I think it's $599 right now. And I know you're wondering, did you hit up their support? Of course I did. I haven't heard back from them in a week. Basically, I sent them a whole bunch of videos of me showing you guys the same thing with the multimeter, showing that it's dead. I asked for updates. I haven't heard back from them. They did respond to me and say that they submitted it to their professional or whatever and they're looking into it. But it's been like a week and I haven't heard anything back from them. And it sucks because I got this bike a few weeks ago and I still haven't been able to use it. I bought this bike not only because it's cool, but I wanted to show you guys my experience with this thing because I know this is a really popular bike and a lot of people have been asking me about this thing. I'm decently handy, so I can kind of figure out what's going on. But I mean, imagine you're a single mom and you just bought this for your kid and now it's not working and the support isn't getting back to you and you don't know what to do and they're asking you to send videos of the multimeter and stuff. It sucks that this has to happen. And look, I would much rather be riding this thing around in the nice spring weather than sitting here and trying to troubleshoot it and go back and forth on my laptop and be messaging some company in China about this. But look, this is the stuff that you risk when you buy the cheapest e-bike on Amazon, I guess. You're not gonna get the same support as a big company like Razor or any other well-known e-bike company or dirt bike company or whatever. You know, the support is definitely where it's gonna be lacking. So we'll see if we can get a new battery for this thing. But as of right now, I basically have a $1,200 paperweight sitting in the bat cave here right now, which is super annoying. Again, for like the millionth drink every time I say annoying in this video. So I also wanted to add in real quick that if you do end up picking one of these up, it would probably be a good idea to buy this through Amazon because at least you have some sort of accountability when you're dealing with Amazon, because I just bought this directly from Tuttio because Tuttio had a better price. But having to deal with their support and everything, it sucks because I really have no third party to hold Tuttio accountable if you do have any issues. So if you do pick this thing up, I would definitely say to buy it through Amazon. As of recording this video, I still haven't heard anything back from Tuttio. So that is the latest on the Soleil. I really hate to leave on such a negative note here, but overall, I just haven't had a great experience so far with this bike. And I definitely don't want to just keep it sitting around in my garage. I would like to do something with it at some point. We'll see if Tuttio gets back to me and if they send me out a new battery. But I know that these things can handle like a 72 volt battery. And I also bought the dongle so that you can program the controller. Obviously, I haven't been able to use it because I haven't been able to get the thing up and running. But I do have that dongle and it is here. So eventually when I do get this bike running, I'll be able to program it. And maybe I'll even throw a 72 volt battery or something in there. But yeah, sorry that it's such a negative note, but that's just been my experience with it. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.